A warm welcome to Podcast for Business with me, Steve Twynham. Podcast for Business is all about helping businesses to share knowledge, expertise, details of workshops, events and seminars with the wider business community. Today's podcast is brought to you in partnership with Make It York Business. Make It York are committed to finding the right support to help your company start up, grow or locate in York. Their dedicated business team offers startups, growing, established and relocating businesses access to a wealth of information, advice and support, including startup and growth, access to finance and funding, skills and training. There's a property search, international trade and much more. If you'd like more information about this, check out the website yorkmeansbusiness.co.uk. Sit back and enjoy Podcast for Business. In this Podcast for Business, I'll be joined by LinkedIn specialist Judy Parsons. I'll be finding out all about LinkedIn. What is it? What is it about? How do you set up your profile? What should you say on your profile? And what about company pages? Are they still called company pages? What is it? Why do you need one? Well, so much to talk about. I'll be joined by Judy Parsons next on this Podcast for Business.
Like to share news about your business, event, seminar or workshop? Simply email steve@stevetwynham.com.
One of the topics that comes up a lot when I'm networking is LinkedIn, and people look at it and go, I don't know what to do. So I'm joined on the line by Judy Parsons. We're going to be talking LinkedIn. Judy, how are you?
I'm very good, thank you, Steve. Hi.
Good. Thanks for joining us on the Business Hour podcast. I'm really looking forward to this, and finding out just a little bit about LinkedIn. We're going to do a few of these podcasts because it's a big topic. So yes. As I know. So we're not just going to cover everything in one. We're just going to pick a couple of items and then record some more another time, So before we start that, Judy, how did you get involved in becoming a LinkedIn specialist? Let's give us a little bit of a background.
Yeah, I think it's important because I only do LinkedIn. I don't see myself as a social media expert at all. I just do LinkedIn. And basically, my background's in B2B marketing. I used to work in IT and telecoms, and it was my job to generate leads for the sales teams. And when I went self-employed, I was doing a lot of online marketing, and I realized that LinkedIn was just a fabulous platform for marketing and lead generation, and it just fitted. It just resonated with me completely. That I decided to focus just on delivering LinkedIn because I think it is such a valuable business development platform that's free.
That's free. That's free. So, look, there we are then. Let's start with the big one, right? You said, what's it all about?
What's it all about? What's all this loving LinkedIn all about? Yeah, exactly. So, I always tell people, so LinkedIn's been around a long time, since 2003. So it is actually been around longer than the likes of Facebook and Twitter and things like that. So although it is sort of classed as a social media platform, I actually don't think it is a social media platform. For me, LinkedIn it's known as a relationship building tool. So it's actually the closest thing to face-to-face networking you can get. And I always say to people, don't think of LinkedIn as a social media platform. Think of it as networking. And a lot of people go networking, so they understand what networking is. And I think if you see LinkedIn as a networking tool or as your networking group, then you're on the right steps to using it in the right way. The other thing about LinkedIn, it's one big database, and I think that's from my past role as a B2B marketing person. We used to spend quite a bit of money buying in data, and with LinkedIn, it's there at our fingertips, which I just love. 26 million profiles in the UK alone. And LinkedIn gives us the tools to drill down and find people that we want to meet. So, it's one big database, so that's really great. And then the other thing that I say LinkedIn is a website. So Google loves LinkedIn. If you've got a LinkedIn profile, you've got a really good chance of being found it's another website, it's another presence for you and your business. So it helps you get found. You can have lots of lovely branding on there, and it works in exactly the same way as a website. So for me, those are the three key things as to what LinkedIn is.
Okay, so there we are then. We think, well, let's go. And what about setting our profile up then? Because I guess that's the first step, isn't it?
It is. When anybody goes, how the heck do we use LinkedIn? That is always got to be the first step, because it is your professional brand online, and people will get an impression from you instantly from your LinkedIn profile. And again, this is why the similarity with networking, because again, if you think about face-to-face networking, you will go to a networking event and you present yourself professionally, physically to people, and everybody will make decisions on people based on what they see. And so your LinkedIn profile represents you physically in the LinkedIn networking group. So anybody who comes to your profile will make a decision instantly about you and whether they want to do business. So your profile is critical in building up your credibility, being seen as the expert, having that sort of good branding, building that know, like, and trust. So it's absolutely the first step that people should do. And the one thing that I say to people, if you are going to be on LinkedIn, because you don't have to be on LinkedIn, but if you are going to be on LinkedIn, then, and you do nothing else, make sure that you've got a good profile that's focused on the challenges that your ideal clients have that you solve. Right.
So it's more about just tell me if I'm wrong. I'm just thinking. So it's more about how you can help a client rather than you. Is that what you're saying?
Correct. Absolutely. I mean, the number one mistake most people make is that they use LinkedIn as an online CV, which is fine, kind of, if you're looking for a job. But, again, if we think about LinkedIn as a website, LinkedIn as a networking tool, I don't know anybody who has got their CV on their website. It's, the whole marketing is another piece of marketing. We write our websites based on, the benefits and how we can help our target audience. And LinkedIn should be completely the same. So it should be consistent and congruent. It shouldn't matter whether somebody goes website or your LinkedIn profile or your LinkedIn page, company page. It shouldn't matter. They'll get the same message and the same branding as they would wherever they went online.
So are there some really big key things that you must not do on your profile? I guess I've probably made every mistake there is. And it's still not probably perfect by any stretch of the imagination.
But do you know what? I think anything is better than just having, job title and company name as your headline. So it comes down, the first thing I like to say to people is, what is it you want LinkedIn to do for you? And you have to sort of start with the objective in mind. And if you want LinkedIn to help you generate leads, which is brilliant for that, and I obviously would say that, wouldn't I? But you've got to sort of think about, how do you want to position yourself? How do you want to be seen? And again, going back to LinkedIn being a website, it's got to get you found. So you've got to have the right keywords on there. And then when people find your profile, they've got to be engaged with you. So in terms of no-nos, not having a photo, this is why I keep alluding back to the networking thing. The whole thing about, the profile photo is the biggest thing of building the know, like, and trust. You can get to know people without having ever met them, just because you're connected on LinkedIn and you see what they're posting and you engage with them. So having a good photo, having the right keywords on your profile that attracts your target audience. People say to me, I don't get anybody coming to my profile. They're all recruiters. And I go, well, that's because you don't have the right keywords on there. You've got the keywords on there that recruitment companies are potentially looking for. So if you want to attract the right people, you've got to make sure you've got the words in there that that they would be using to find solutions to the challenges that you solve. Like your website, everybody's familiar with, SEO and having the right keywords. How do you get people to your website? Same principles. So that's the other key thing. So talking just about yourself, nobody cares about you. You want to know what's in it for me. So talk about your ideal clients, their challenges, focus on those aspects. Brand your header banner. That's a great piece of, a lot of people just have the default that blue networky kind of image at the top.
Mm-hmm.
Brilliant piece of real estate there to put some branding on there, put a visual representation of what it is that you do. So use that to the best. I think for me, the number one thing is make sure you use LinkedIn as a website in the same way that you have keywords on there, you have to tell people what it is that you do, and they're able to get in touch with you easily.
Okay. And Judy, one thing you mentioned there about the photograph.
Yes, that photo.
Because sometimes you see that lovely blank thing, don't you? They're just like, they've not put anything on at all. But then you get some photos on there, and I've shared this before, and I'll share with somebody wanted to connect with me, and their profile picture had been taken in a hotel bathroom.
Oh my goodness.
Complete with toilet roll holder.
Yeah, I don't get it. I really don't get it. I mean, this is online for everybody to see. What do they want people to think?
So my point is the photo needs to be pretty good, really.
Yes, it does. And there's no excuse for not having a good professional photo, because we've got our smartphones these days. You can get a reasonable photo, obviously, on your smartphone. I always say, best marketing money I spent is getting a good photo done, because I use it not just on LinkedIn, but I use it on Twitter and on my business cards, etc. So absolutely. It's your professional brand. What do you want people to think about you when they visit your profile? And, you don't want, as I say, people make decisions about you in an instant. Mm-hmm. And your profile photo is a big part of that. Okay. So no kids, no partners, no nights out, no selfies, just you smiling, looking approachable. I have seen some photos that would fit the description of being a good headshot, but they don't smile. I'm like, they look scary. And again, face-to-face networking, you go to those people who are smiling and look friendly and approachable, don't you?
Yeah, you do. Yes, you don't. Yes, well, I won't go there. Okay, so that's a bit around that. You mentioned the keywords. Do you hashtag your keywords in your profile? Can you do that?
Yes, you can do that, and it does help you get found as well if you hashtag your keywords. So if somebody does a search on LinkedIn for people, and you've got you've got the hashtag, it will bring up those people as well. So yes, they are. Although I don't tend to hashtag. I wouldn't suddenly go out and hashtag every word in my profile. If you look at my profile, you'll notice at the bottom of my summary, I've got 2 or 3 hashtags on there that people may use if they're looking for LinkedIn trainers and things like that. But other than that, the keywords would be, so, for you podcaster, hypnotherapist, help, and then the benefit statement. So it's if you think about your ideal client and what their number one challenge is, and then think about, okay, what words would they then use to search for solutions? What would they be typing into a Google search?
Okay.
And those are words that you want to put on LinkedIn. And I would, again, if you've done all this exercise already for your website, and you know what SEO keywords drive the most traffic to your website, then those are the ones you want to put on LinkedIn. And they need to go in your headline and your job title. They need to go throughout your profile, but your headline and your job title are the most important.
Okay, a bit of work to do, Steve, I think here. Right, okay. Go on.
I was going to say, I have an ebook called 1 Hour to a LinkedIn Profile That Gets You Found and Noticed, if anybody wants to have a copy of that, because it goes through what we're talking about at the moment and getting that header section of your profile done.
Well, we'll check that one before we finish again and give people how they can get hold of that, Judy. Will. Now, so we've talked about that. What about, because I was once told, Steve, you need a company page as well. And I got myself in a right mess with a company page and a personal, but I didn't know what I was doing. So should somebody have a personal page and a company page, or what's the difference?
Well, you need a personal profile page before you can get a company page. And again, this comes back down to what you want to use LinkedIn for. My view is, for business development, you really want to get people coming to your LinkedIn profile, because on LinkedIn, it's all about people-to-people communications. However, I would highly recommend getting a company page, which LinkedIn have now called LinkedIn pages for some bizarre reason. But I'd recommend getting a company page because it puts, you can link your personal profile to the company page, and it puts your logo nicely on your personal profile. Okay. And then when people click on it, they'll go over to your company page, and then you can use that company page to then talk more about how you do what you do and how people can get in touch. So it just acts again as another free website. So why not use it? And you can put your contact details on there. And again, you can put your branding on the company page as well. But from a marketing and business development point of view, I focus mainly driving traffic through my personal profile. Mm-hmm. But you can also post your marketing content onto the company page. So the company page, you get followers, and then on your personal profile, you have connections. And when somebody connects with you, they automatically become a follower.
Okay.
So usually people will have a lot more followers, more connections, should I say, on their personal profile than you will on the company page. And people who follow your company page will have the opportunity to see your company page posts. But there isn't that much reach at all with the company page. So for me, you're better off. I would put things on my company page because if people find it, they can have a look at it. But then I also put any content on my personal page as well.
Got you. Because I think when I'm not even quite sure whether I've still got a company page, to be honest.
Well, let's go and have a look.
Oh, no. Yeah, please do.
Oh, no, you have Steve Twynham. It's there. Yes, I can see it.
But it's got no relevance at all to what I'm doing. that was put out, and I tried to get rid of it, and I couldn't.
Oh, right. Okay.
So I probably need to go on there and do something with that and make it look more in line with what I do now. Because I did that 10 years ago.
Yes, and you've got 52 followers, and I think I would want to what is it that you do? So you've got you're a coach, and what is it that you're looking to work with? So it looks like it's business. This is the Steve Twynham page.
Yeah, you see, it's a bit of a problem.
Yeah. Live the life you really want is very nice, but for me, it's quite fluffy. I'm a bit of it says what it does on the tin kind of a person. I'm not into all fluff.
And you know what, Julie, that was a time when I did nothing, before podcasts came into being. So I need to look at that.
Yes. Yeah. But you can easily change that.
Yeah, I really like to thank you for choosing that one and sharing that with me. That's brilliant. Now then, we'll talk about the ebook again in a minute, but we've got the profile set up. Now, one of the questions is, how do I comment and how do I engage? Well, I'm there, but what do I do?
Well, so for me, engaging is a really, really important part of LinkedIn, and engaging with your network, with what they're posting and things like that. So the first thing you should do is like. Like's the easy thing. You can go on and like somebody's post, and they then get a little notification to say that you've liked it. The next thing that you should do is comment. So for me, like is good, but like and comment is best. So where possible, you want to sort of comment on people's posts. And this to me is like having conversations with people. This is the equivalent of face-to-face networking, where you have the networking mingling and you're chatting to people. That's what this posting is all about.
The open networking.
The open networking, that's it. Yeah, absolutely. So this is, for me, very, very important to be actually engaging daily on your news feed. And you can actually search for keywords. One of my favorite strategies on LinkedIn is actually searching the content for conversations that are relevant to what it is that you do. And you can then actually engage with people who are interested in what it is and get to those, people who are asking the right questions.
Oh, hey, that's another podcast to record. How do you do that?
It will be another podcast. It's something that, how would I actually talk? It's something I always show rather than tell. So it'll be interesting to, but yes, I think that would be a podcast in its own. It's one of my favorite strategies on LinkedIn if you get the keywords right.
Right. Okay. So, when somebody, so somebody likes a post, would it be a good idea sometimes just to say thank you for liking it?
You can do. I don't tend to. You might. What I tend to do with the likes is I always have a look at who's liked it, and if I'm not connected to them, I will then go and connect with them and say thank you very much for liking my post. My first degree connections, if it's somebody I've maybe not spoken to for a while, for me that's a great opportunity to go and sort of say hello again and ask, how's it going, and have a catch up. But I don't generally go thanks for the likes. I've seen people do that, and I guess it's good because it is putting a comment on there. But generally I don't. But what is most important, if you put a piece of content out there, if you post something and somebody takes the time to actually comment on it, you must like and comment back. You must like their comment and comment back, because otherwise it's like you're saying something to me, Steve, and I'm just ignoring you.
Right, okay.
So it's important. That for me is really, really important. A, because then you're not ignoring the person, but B, it increases the reach. It puts your post back out onto the news feed for everybody else to see it again. So that's one of the reasons why you want people to engage with your post, because it means more and more people have the opportunity to see it.
Okay. So, and how often should somebody post? Is it every day or what? Because I had a conversation with somebody this morning at a networking event, and they went, "No, I haven't got time to do that. It takes ages."
Yeah, well, it is. It's funny. And to be honest, so in theory, yes, daily, every weekday. My view is that you should only post when you've got something relevant to say. So I'd rather go with quality than quantity, rather than posting just for the sake, I haven't posted today, let me just put something on there. But actually, I don't post that often, to be honest with you. I might post once a week, maybe every other week if I'm, busy and I've not done it. But actually, I think what's more important is engage daily, because people say to me, "Oh, yeah, I see you all over LinkedIn," but I'm not actually posting my own content. I'm actually engaging with other people. So I'm popping up all over the place. So engage daily, post relevant content when you can.
Right, okay. And I know when we were talking a couple of weeks ago, you mentioned something to me about, you said LinkedIn loves people to stay on it,
yes,
not go off it. Now, and I'm trying to get my head around this, and I'd like you to clarify this for me. Because
yes.
if I put a podcast out there, so I put the post and I put a link to the podcast in that post, up comes the podcast. People
That's right.
Yeah. Now, if I don't do that, and then I have to go back and put it in the comment section as author, is that what?
That's right.
Is that what works best?
Yeah, that's it, exactly. LinkedIn has a problem in so much that people aren't on the platform long enough for its liking. So, I mean, in the old days, of LinkedIn, you used to always share a link and it didn't matter. You used to get good reach and people would see it and things like that. But now, if you copy and paste the URL into the actual post, LinkedIn goes away and creates an automatic preview. It creates automatic link with that other website, and it comes up with the image of the web page that you're linking to and the title of the web page. And so LinkedIn knows that you're taking people off LinkedIn, that you're linking to an external website.
Okay.
And it instantly will dampen the reach of that post because it wants to keep people on LinkedIn. And it doesn't want you taking people off LinkedIn. So absolutely do not post links to an external website on your post. Well, what you do is that you write your post, put your thought leadership on it. I see a lot of people who post links that will just put the name so that, when you post a link, it comes up with the title of the web page, the external web page. And then they just copy and paste the same words in their post. So it adds no value because people can see the title and then they just copy and paste it. It adds no value. The beauty in LinkedIn is the thought leadership that you put around it. Why should somebody read it? No, I'm going off on a tangent there, Steve. Sorry. I'll come back onto the point.
Yeah.
So basically what you do, so you write your post with your thought leadership spin on there, short sentences, lots of white space, make it easy people to scan and get the information. You then publish that post, so you click on post, so it goes live onto the news feed. And then when it's live, there's 3 dots just at the top right of your post. If you click on those 3 dots, a little drop-down menu appears, and you've got the option to edit post. So you click on edit post, and then you copy and paste the URL of your external website into your post, and then click on save.
Oh, right, okay.
And that's how you do it. That's the best way of doing that. And then what you could do is also put the link in the comments as well.
Right. Okay. Well.
So I do both.
You do both, right? And what, when because we could talk for ages here. We've got so many podcasts to get through over the next few weeks or so. When then it comes up and says so many people have viewed it.
Yes.
What does that actually mean? Does it mean they've read it or clicked on the link, or what does it mean?
Yeah, no, sadly, I wish it did. So a view is basically the number of impressions it's had. Basically, the number of people who've had the opportunity to see it. So LinkedIn has presented it on their newsfeed, but it doesn't mean they've seen it. So it's a bit of a chicken and egg thing. So the more views you have, the better, because more people have had the opportunity to see it. But to get more people to see it, you've got to get people to engage with it. So absolutely views are important, but for my mind, what's the engagement level on it is actually more important. And sometimes, I've seen posts with a lot of engagement on it and yet not that many views. So, it's interesting. But yeah, that's basically doesn't really mean a great deal apart from people have had the opportunity. But if you've only got 5 views or 10 views or 100 views, there's, LinkedIn is really, you're not getting any traction with LinkedIn. And that's the other kind of problem that I have with people who post to LinkedIn from Hootsuite or other external scheduling tools, because you've got to be I find posting manually is so much more effective in terms of the reach. You can't really schedule that well you can schedule obviously, but I find that the reach the post gets isn't anywhere near as great.
Yeah, okay. So it's a bit like having a like on Facebook, isn't it? I've got 1,000 likes, but nobody's read the damn thing.
Yes.
Pardon the expression. So look, you mentioned the ebook then. So how can somebody get a copy of the ebook, Judy? And then, and how can people find out more about you?
Well, obviously, if people come to my LinkedIn profile, that would be fab. LinkedIn.com/in/Judith Parsons. If they connect with me and say, can I have a copy of your ebook, that would be fantastic. My new website is due to be launched soon, and it will be on there, but it's not quite there yet, sadly, but it will be there. But at the moment, if people connect with me on LinkedIn and say, can I have a copy of your ebook, that would be great. Or email me, judy@judithparsons.com.
Okay, and if somebody wants you to come and do a workshop or talk to them about this, I would guess that you are very much up for that.
Absolutely, I love talking LinkedIn. I do it a lot. So yeah, absolutely.
So they can get that same email address. Yeah,
and LinkedIn, best place to find me.
Okay. Well, look, we're going to talk again because we've got loads of things to cover. How do you generate leads on LinkedIn? We're going to be talking about being active and driving traffic. We've got so much to talk about over the next few weeks and so, so for the people out there, just stay with it. This podcast will be out. It'll be out on iTunes as well. It'll be all over social media. You'll hear it everywhere very shortly as well. So I look forward to talking with you again.
Yeah. Oh, thank you very much, Steve. It's been great. Thank you.
It's been good. It's been good fun. And I've just learned something already in this, 20 odd minutes we've been talking. It's been awesome.
Fabulous.
Look, have a great afternoon, whatever you're doing.
Thank you.
It's raining, the sun's shining. And have a good one. A big thank you for taking the time out to listen to Podcasts for Business. Podcasts for Business, all about helping businesses share knowledge, expertise, details of events, workshops and seminars. If you'd like to get in touch, you'd like to feature your business or let me know about an event, all you need to do is simply email steve@stevetwynham.com. Also check out podcastforbusiness.co.uk. Podcast for Business is produced and presented by Steve Twynham. Copyright applies.